Website, Mike Shoen for Congress.com, you talk about energy independence.
Start off with we want to be energy independent is because if we're energy independent, we don't have to be over in the Middle East trying to strong arm people or bribe them or arm them so that we can get access to their natural resources. We won't need to do that. We won't have an excuse. And the flip side of that is that if you go back to the military industrial governmental complex, that's why they're not really willing to give it up very readily. That's why a lot of them don't really want to be energy independent, because they won't have the excuse to be over there messing around and making a big deal and spending a lot of money over there and over here fiddling around with that stuff, which they've been doing for a long time. And that started before World War I with the British fleet. When the Secretary of their Navy, when they were transitioning the British fleet from coal to oil, they said, we have a security interest in the Middle East. We're going to go over there and start doing things. So let's get rid of that. That's through energy independence. Again, look at the Germans, okay? It's not very hard. It's pretty simple. You go over to Germany, you go to a little town. They'll have 5 gigantic wind towers out in some farmer's fields for a little town. They'll have a biomass generator. It's not real huge, you know, maybe 80 foot across, couple, 3 of them. And they're generating methane gas. I don't know what they use it for, but they're using it over there. They have an awesome recycling program over there in Germany. I've never seen anything like it, and I participated in it, so I know a little bit about it. And they've got all these little cars that are very fuel efficient. So, and they have a wonderful public transportation system that's very, very, in the long run, very, very fuel efficient. Well, those are some of the things we can do in this country to push ourselves toward energy independence. Those are things that I would support as your congressman. Now, I can't sit here and tell you that I'm an expert on everything that in this area and that I know what to do, because I'm not an engineer in this area and I've never really worked in it. I've read some articles. I read an interesting couple papers about stored distributed solar thermal energy, which is something that's happening actually here in Arizona now, and has been there's been a company in California doing this for a couple decades. But I'm not an expert in that. But what I can do is say I'll talk with the experts and work with the experts so we can move in that direction. It's easy to follow the example of Germany, for heaven's sakes. It's easy to do what they've done, and we can do that, and we can do more. So energy independence is something that we've got to do, and watch out, because there's a section of the government that doesn't want to do it, really.
How can we prevent the government from deciding on what type of energy independence formula we use and having and going to, say, a free market solution?
Well, that's a good question. I think that that goes back to the question of new manufacturing, and that's an industry we should be in. We should be the leaders in. Is green energy and energy sources that make us independent of fossil fuels. So the way we can get independent of the government is to find a way to make money on that, independent of any government. I mean, that's the way it's all got to be done anyway. Businesses have to find a way to make money through wind power, through solar power, stored solar thermoelectric power, all these different types of through biomass, gas generators. This has to be done through private industry. Nothing's going to be done right through the government. Nothing. The government does not have the discipline of the market to make it do well. You've got to minimize government. You've got to maximize private industry, and private industry will get it done, because there are a lot of guys out there smarter than I am, a lot smarter. And there's people out there who already know how to do this. So we've got to find them and and do what we can to facilitate them, do what we can to remove impediments to their success.